issue starting the stream for some reason. It is what it is. It'd be what it be. Welcome, boys. Welcome, boys. Scan on. Scan on. Alright. The stream should be live, if I'm not mistaken. Which I shouldn't be. I should not be mistaken from my knowledge. The big chapter 50, boys. Don't mind me just setting up the stream real quick. Welcome, Grimmy. Mr. Moku, how's it going? Error. What error are you telling me I have now, mate? It's all cap, mate. Cap on a stack. Alright. Let me drop the link in the free to join Discord in the description as always. I need to start a poll in the chat first, because this is going to be a commonly asked question throughout the stream. There you go, start that. I'll turn on the camera in a second. I'm just drying my hair. Alright, should be good. All is working. Audio should be fine. We actually got, I wouldn't say leaks, but like previews, or a preview of the chapter already for Baki Rahen chapter 50, but I'll let the stream warm up a bit before I go into that. And I believe we got the Kengan Mega chapter title as well. Yeah, we do. Cool, cool, cool. Welcome, Archie. How's it going? I mean, this entire fight so far has been great for Hanayama stocks. He'd be rising through the ranks. Pickle fans are in the mud, in absolute denial, you can say. It's unfortunate, but it's how it is. I still don't understand this error when I stream. Please use keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Both chapters should be out in an hour and 25 minutes. Do I have thy hydration? I believe I do. New Poison joined the Discord. Was that through the stream? I don't think it was. Unlucky. Don't forget to vote in the poll. It should be appearing at the top of the chat, I believe. Something along the lines of that. Alright. The mysterious weeb get-up. I don't think the match ends today. Honestly, it's like a 40% chance it ends, 60% chance it doesn't. Is it just me, or did Simo vs Loki seem rushed? Like they just wanted the fight to be over? An important thing to consider for that fight is it really couldn't go long. The second they were close to one another, there really had to be a winner considering Simo's fighting style and moveset alongside the downsides. So it could have gone 2 more chapters. I think I would have preferred it that way. But it wasn't stupidly rushed. Could you start it? Bro's demanding me. Hold up, mate. I'm turning on my camera. Patience. The streams don't even send out notifications to everyone until it hits like the 20-minute mark. Mate, I can't even turn off my heater. What is this? I'm getting violated out here. Welcome, Mr. Dev. How's it going? Turn off, man. This shit hot as fuck. Thoughts on possible Jack loss? Not possible, mate. It's not even a thought. Not even a possibility. How could the GOAT even be considered as a potential loss? Oh, there you go. Alright. I think we are ready to rumble. The fire alarm be going off due to how fire the chapters are going to be. Pre-firing. If only. Alright. We should be good now. Camera action. It's very yellow though. Is it high quality? I think it is. Cool. The chat box is a bit too far over. Potentially. I think that's good. Mexico loves honey armor. I thought Mexico only cared about Goku. Nah, I wouldn't rank Suzaku versus Indra close to Loki versus Simo. Like, I don't even think Simo versus Loki is like middle of the range when it comes to the main series, but Indra versus Suzaku in comparison is still near the bottom. Like, it's better than the first two fights in Apocalypse, but doesn't come close to any fight in the main series. Thoughts on the current state of Kengan? I'm excited for the tournament. It seems a bit whack, as I've expressed many times. The recent chapters and in regards to the Nicholas and Tarashi stuff, can't say I care about. And Kengan has been going downhill for a number of years. But I'm still excited, regardless. You could say Jack relying on the biting is a pride thing. That's a main character point in this whole arc. Him proving that his martial art, his Gaodao, is superior to others. So even if it's a downside in a certain fight, he's going to use it to continue that trend. And it's also important to remember this is kinda his training arc to a degree as well. All these fights are just preparation for his fight against Yujiro, in a sense. Bro been doing some push-ups. Welcome, Azan. I'm doing well. Alright, so should be good to start now. So the official Baki Twitter page has already revealed some stuff for the chapter. The full one is not out yet, but they've already revealed the new cover page, which I think I have on the screen already, but volume 5 for Hanayama has now been released. Looks pretty good. As a reminder of what the previous 4 volumes look like. I'll pull that up on screen real quick. But yeah, you got first one being Baki, of course, then Jack, then Yujiro, Pickle, and now we got Hanayama. Seems as though Kosho missed out. Perhaps his fight against Jack wasn't as main, you could say. But I think these volume covers are much better than previous manga series, considering each character gets their own one instead of Baki being on 99% of them. Apart from that, the Twitter page also dropped this. So this is the back of the volume, I believe. Once again, some Baki. And some snippets of the newest chapter. So this is, of course, explaining Hanayama's vice grip, what he used on Jack in the most recent chapter, if you guys don't remember. So it seems as though this chapter is going to start out like that. So with that said, it is leaning towards the possibility that the fight won't be ending if a section of it is dedicated to the goated Baki explanation moments that we all love, of course. Yeah, Jack's striking, if he was to solely use that in this fight, he could probably dominate Hanayama much better. Every time he relies on striking, he seems to do insanely well. It's just when he uses his Gaodao, he gets countered in a sense by Hanayama's grip strength. Yep, we're waiting for the full chapter and the new Kengan chapter as well. Both dropping the same time. Weeb, I got a question. Why are Masashi's eyes in the manga always so derpy looking? Is it because he was revived or something? Is there a reason why my man looks goofy in the manga? Yeah, it could be because they cloned him in a sense, or like the circumstances around his resurrection. That could be a factor. We don't actually get an explanation of why, but I think that could be why. Because he kind of looked like that in the flashback scenes, but not as extreme. So it could be the cloning aspect. This is the big chapter 50, so a mini milestone in a sense. I mean, we had the big return of Oma in Kengan Omega chapter 50, so I guess it means something to manga authors, but maybe not for Baki, considering it's a continued series. If I had to place my bets, it's probably the cloning. That's the most likely explanation. Or maybe Bro's just too demonic. I hope after that we get consecutive chapters for Bucky. Yeah, that'll be nice. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues the bi-weekly trend. That has been more so the case in the last like 20 or so chapters. It's been one every 2 weeks. There has been the occasional break that we're currently dealing with or delays. I think it's been over a month since the previous chapter. So that does happen. There has been instances where we've had chapter week by week, but the bi-weekly thing seems to be more common. No, I enjoy it that way. Weekly would be great, naturally. More chapters the better, but bi-weekly is solid. I do have my video out in regards to the Morrigan and Nezha fight on the channel. I uploaded that yesterday. But I am predicting Morrigan. I think most people are at this point. It would kind of be unfortunate if the only female fighter in the series was to lose her first fight. I've seen a lot of fan art and stuff as well in regards to Morrigan just randomly on Twitter. So even then, she's decently popular. How's the poll looking? So pretty much 50-50. Don't forget to vote. It should be in the chat around the top. 50-50 though. Where do you all read Kengan and Baki? The chapter links, the second the chapters come out, are posted in the Discord. So if you open the description, there should be a link in there, free to join. You can get the roles so you get notified when the chapters come out. That's the easiest way. Because websites occasionally go down, there's delays, so I just recommend joining the Discord. There's also the growing community as well. Funny enough, I actually started the Discord when I hit 1,000 subs, so we'll be going strong. Baki Rahen chapter 50 shouldn't be out yet. Chapter 49. We're waiting on chapter 50 today. Or this is chapter 50, you could say. I mean, I know a lot of people have dropped Kengan Omega over the years. its fan base definitely isn't as big as it was back during the Kengan and Purgatory times. I think that was when it was the most active, or maybe right after the final season of the Kengan Ashura anime. It's always like that though. Weeb, who's one god in Ragnarok who you think got done dirty in their fight? Thor, no. Zeus, no. Poseidon, no. Hercules, no. Shiva, no. Buddha, no. Maybe Zero, you could argue. I do have a lot of issues with Susanoo in regards to his glazing of Okita at every instance. I think that ruined his character to me, but I mean, you could probably say Ra got done the dirtiest. If you want to include Apocalypse. Thoughts on how you would rewrite Kengan right now? See, that's a kind of a hard one. Because a main contentious point is whether you actually have the return of Oma. If you do include the return of Oma, you have the insanely hyped chapter 50 and like him being probably a better character than Koga or more enjoyable to most people, but also it has limited Koga throughout the story as the protagonist. Sorry about that. What was I saying? For what I was saying. Yeah, the the hard part to decide whether to stick with Koga or have the Oma return. I think it'll outside of that, it'll probably be better to concise the story up a little bit. Like you can dedicate post Kengan vs Purgatory to the worm stuff 100% until it's done. Then you can do additional things like the Berserker tournament after that is done. Instead of having it all mixed up together. You can fully complete that story so it isn't prolonged forever. But it's hard. You'll need to think about it and write stuff down to make a detailed answer. No balloon today? Bro, I think Balloons Tower Defense fried my PC last time I played it. Ever since last time I think I streamed it, like, I don't know how many months ago, it, like, destroyed my RAM or something, and my shit always crashes when editing. I even bought new RAM to try and fix it, but the issue remains. So I blame the game. I'll probably pull up Balatro to chill shortly while we wait for the chapters, but we're vibing for now. I mean, I technically have a Yujiro vs Record Ragnarok video. It kind of goes over that, but not really. The real question, will this chapter feature the return of Kozue after 13 years? And that is the question everyone is wondering, I'm sure. the poll votes have changed to 52%. Not bad, not bad. It's going to be great to see who Wang shit on Aries in episode 1 of season 3. Coming out in December. Hype, hype, hype. We may be getting some Baki Dao information next week. I believe September 5th or something. There should be an interview between the Baki author, the Beastar author, and like Netflix for the 10th anniversary or something. Or some broadcast. I covered it in a previous stream. I feel like Baki as well has lost a little bit of popularity over the last 2 years. Do you buy the theory that Brunhilde will become the final fighters volume? I probably lean towards Goal being the final fighters volume more at this point. If that is going to be the deciding match. So I see her also being the winner, and it being possible that Brunhilde gets killed off. But also possible that one of those two just doesn't become a volume. I mean, for all we know, Brunhilde could be the volume for Kintoki right now. I see that as very likely. Well, not very likely, but very possible. Alright. I think it would be cool if Kintoki's acts as a divine weapon, and then on top of that he gets a volume to enhance his abilities more. Or to enhance another aspect. I think that would be cool. It would make sense for something like that to be required to deal with Odin. I was going to check out the Reddit, wasn't I? I should do that first. The Baki Reddit. Let's make it bigger a bit. Fighting manga for off? Not fully. I mean, Ragnarok is popping, as always. Tenkaichi is in a pretty hype state. I don't really know what's going on with Lookism. I haven't been reading the recent chapters, but I'm sure it's fine. For $100 million, who would you openly disrespect here? Probably Pickle. Or maybe not. Bro, be understanding and speaking now. Who's less likely to harm you and leave you permanently damaged for life? I mean, they have the mobile game for Record of Ragnarok, but I'm imagining that already fell off. I don't think regular Ragnarok is popular enough for like a proper like console or PC game. Like if you think about it, the only anime series that really get successful games is like Dragon Ball and One Piece to a degree. And even those like fall off decently fast. And Naruto as well. And those three are like many times popular than regular Ragnarok. Like it's not even close. And even those fall off insanely. Like there's not no fans for it, but if One Piece games can't be insanely successful, why would Record of Ragnarok stand a chance, or Baki, or Kengan? Like I think adding a Kengan fighter or Baki character to like a Tekken or Street Fighter as DLC would get a decent amount of people to buy it. I know I would. I don't play any of those games, but I would buy it if they added a DLC for Baki or something. I mean, we technically saw him sign it, no? He destroyed the paper. Both chapters coming in under an hour now. The Kengan Omega chapter title is Regrets. Surely we're not staying on the Nicholas stuff. I mean, you could say genetically Pickle could be number one, but just because he can learn, it's not like he's going to properly learn martial arts anytime soon. I don't think Pickle's going to do anything for quite some time now. I think he's done in the story. Hey, if only we knew what was going on when he decided to do that with Yujiro. He's like thinking, how can I make Yujiro seem more male, more masculine, and more dominant? How can I make him be perceived as more stronger? What haven't I done? And then he just decided to do that. Like, imagine being his editor and be like, you really want to do this? Like, yep. Send it out. Reddit is doomed with that post. Mr. Biscuit Oliver. The legend himself. No, I've never heard the stuff about that before. I doubt it, to be honest. Probably some random made up stuff. the iconic Yujiro Giga Slap on Yanagi. So even on the Reddit the past month, there's been like no interesting posts at all. I mean, it's probably the most wild thing to ever happen in Baki. Got the Retsu Isekai still going hard. That's what I mentioned before, the talk show. Yeah, so it is the 5th of September. So hopefully we get some Baki Dao anime information then. That would be very nice. The Tekken stuff has always been rumors. It's been going on for the last like 5 years. There's been like fan-made trailers and stuff, but nothing has ever been officially confirmed. Unfortunately. So I doubt it at this point. Probably would have happened by now. Likely when Son of Ogre came out, I think that would have been the best opportunity. So in a sense, they have missed out, you could say. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting the translators always post a new Baki chapter on a different site now. Let me pull that one up. Yeah, it has been over a month. I mean, there technically is an old PS2 Baki game. But it feels as though there was like a game on everything during the PlayStation 2 era. Like they were just spawning out random games for every type of media. How many PS2 games are there? So apparently there's over 4,000 PS2 games released. What about PlayStation 3? 5,000, I guess there's more PS3 games. Or PS4. 11,000, okay. I don't know then. I'm tripping. Unfortunately, tripping. I've said this before, but I think the Angelback stuff is the most stupid fan theory thing in all of Baki. Like, people who actually believe it, I have concerns for you. It's insanely stupid. The main argumentation is because in chapter 2 of Baki Rahen or whatever, we see Jack being religious in the Catholic Church. And all from that, people are like, oh, he's going to have an angel back. It's this stupid. Anyone who pushes that theory is a bozo. Simple as that. Yeah, this is what happened in the previous chapter, more so when it concluded. Even the thumbnails you see for it, it drives me crazy. What is this, bro? What's going on? What is this angel back wackiness? Like, what is this stuff? You reckon the middle of the fight? I mean, when did it start? Let me check. Chapter. So, chapter 42, they officially met in the street. And Jack charged and got punched. So, chapter 42, the fight officially started. But it's being set up since chapter like 39 or chapter 40. But let's say chapter 42. So with today's chapter, it's been 8 dedicated 100% to the fight. 8 chapters is decently long. Yeah, there's like a, not a DLC, like a boss segment with Yujiro, which was cool. Right. Let Susanoo stay in the mud. Bro fumbled beyond belief. Yeah, I made a video on the Punch Out Baki game. Looks like dog shit. I swear every time Baki gets a game, it's just so bad. I think it might be out now. I checked in a previous stream. I think last week's stream. I checked it. Oh, it's right here. Q3. I mean, the trailer looked very bad. Where did the Russians get the chapters from? The same place anyone gets the chapters from the Japanese website when they upload it. Unless you're talking about the occasional leaks, but that also comes from Japanese sources to begin with. Baki on TV in Japan. Look at that. Bro promoting his merch. The translation of this is Jack top 3 strongest of all time. Trust. I mean, I can't show you the website or link it for certain reasons, but in the Discord, it's posted in there. Both the Kengan and Baki chapter release in 45 minutes. Bro is insanely old. He's been creating the Baki manga for over 30 years. He did say in a recent interview that I talked about in a video that he has no plans on stopping, so much respect to him. Truly been grinding. I mean, it is one of the highest selling manga of all time. So bro is insanely successful. And we're finally getting that official English release in October beginning. Finally. I mean, we do have a Twitter post already that I pulled up earlier, going over some stuff for the chapter. New cover page, and it begins with some vice grip explanations. I will say though, I don't know if the translators are going to drop the chapter right away. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I can't say for sure. But the Raws will be out regardless. And the Kengan Mega chapter comes out in 44 minutes. Like, guaranteed. If you had to choose between living in the Bakiverse or Kenganverse, which would you choose? Probably Kengan. I think the Kenganverse is safer in a sense. I mean, the Bakiverse be having a little bit more wild stuff going on with like Pickle existing and stuff. And maybe even the canon nature of aliens at some point. Yeah, there's a chat for verses in the Discord. I read the first few chapters when it initially came out, but I haven't been keeping up. I've heard good things though. People saying it's been quite good. I mean, one being the author, I think some guaranteed success in regards to that. What are the people on Reddit saying about the chapter? Baki characters get wider every chapter. I mean, to be fair, we still need a whole chapter dedicated to the explanation of Hanayama's back tattoo. That is a requirement. So, yeah, maybe the people who mentioned before that were only halfway through may be right. This chapter, we need a reminder of his grip strength, because everyone forgot apparently. Then once he gets to stripping down, we need a reminder of the tattoo. And then we can commence into the final aspects of the fight. Naturally. Udrobi truly a goon. Ali Jr.'s biggest dub of all time. How did the recent Kengan Omega chapter end again? Let me pull that up. Just in case I forgot. I mean, if it wants to load, that would be greatly appreciated. Nicholas Tarashi, that's right. The Haruo training. I'll probably start with the Kengan Omega reaction. Because we know exactly when that comes out. And there's also a time limit. We got, how long do you have until to read the Kengan Omega chapter before it becomes pay? I mean, I can show you this one because this is an official site, but yeah, 38 minutes. I think you have an hour after it comes out to read it before it becomes the keys for the next like day or so. Then it becomes free. So 38 minutes right there. And technically in Japan at the same time, the Baki chapter drops as well. So this depends whether or not the translators got the chapter early and have translated it. If they do, they will release at the same time, which they've done many times. Welcome, Dio Blitz. How's it going? Mr. Marco. Unlucky. The stream will be left up regardless. Busy on Kengan and Baki Day. Unfortunate. Don't forget to vote in the poll, boys. It's still pretty much 50-50. Quite wild. I mean, technically, you have the Garuda novels from the author that are still ongoing, I think, or something like that. But ain't nobody want to read without the pretty pictures. Yeah, it's now been 8 chapters dedicated to the Hanayama and Jack fight since it officially begun with them like striking one another. And that's been like 6 months worth of chapters almost. It's a half a year. Like, imagine if the Berserker Ball tournament, one fight in that, took half a year. Then I think Kengan Omega will be doomed. Yeah, those two definitely have similar vibes. I do think it's possible we could be spending a few chapters of Kengan Omega highlighting what some of the other Kengan fighters are doing for last minute training, like Koga and stuff. Well, not Koga, like Cosmo and stuff. Since we got to see what Haru is up to, maybe we'll see what some of the others are up to. The title is called Regrets, though. I do wonder though, could the chapters come out 12 a.m. in Japan? I wonder how many people in Japan read the new chapters when they release on the websites. Both chapters come out in 34 minutes. How long are you thinking the battle's going to be now? I mean, I hope at least 20 chapters. I'm hoping Sandro spends a good chunk of time on it. I hope he doesn't just completely blitz past like multiple fights. Like if we get one chapter where it's like zone 1 and we see Shen Wulong like one tap like 6 main Kengan fighters in like one panel or something, and then that's be it. And then like the next chapter it's on zone 2 or something, that'll be a bit unfortunate. Garuden has a lot of very good fights. Why did the chapters take so long? Don't know. Have to ask the author. It was meant to come out 2 weeks ago, but there was a delay. At least 20 chapters. Ideally, 50 plus would be great. But considering Kengan's recent pacing, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just 20 chapters. But if this is going to be the final involvement of Shen Wulong to a degree, I think they need to put a good chunk of it. But if you think about it, 50 plus chapters is a year of Kengan Omega content. If it does remain weekly, which it likely will, but a year of chapters, pretty much. You don't know who I think will win or want to win? Come on, mate. I'm sure you have your answer. I'm sure you have a slight understanding of who I'm betting on. Who is the most overglazed fighter in Baki Kengan that you believe is a fraud? Overglazed Baki character, probably Kaku Kaio from like a fandom perspective, at least in the current day. But he's not really a fraud though. He's like overglazed, but he isn't a fraud. So it's kind of hard. Kengan though. I mean, I low-key want to say Tarashi, but even the Kengan fighters consider him trash. Remember when he was fighting Okubo? They're like, this guy is an amateur and stuff. So, bro isn't him. I guess he showed a bit too much respect, because he deserves nothing. Yeah, Kengan Omega is going to go on much longer. 3 years, I think, is easy. I mean, Okubo is below a fraud. He's a literal clown. Bottom of the barrel. Tarashi's worse, though. I'll give him that. As I said before, with the very bad Bucky Punch Out game, this is literally in the game. This is Baki Hanma as they show Pickle. That's how you know they do not care and have likely very limited knowledge of the Baki series. Is Pickle still in the top 5? Not at all. Hello, bro. Welcome, Mr. Viet dude. Yeah, all this want to wear Baki game and then they drop this. Like, bro. Like, cool concept, but at least make it look somewhat good. Has Jack ever gone for a nut shot? It's more so Bucky's specialty throughout the series, but I don't think Jack's ever done one. Is Hanayama above Pickle right now? You can argue it. No problem at all. Nico can't be a fraud, mate. Impossible. The true and main villain. Always has been. Always will be. There you go. The PS2 at Bucky game. I mean, I low-key just want this to have as a collectible item. Pretty sick. I don't know how though, when I was a kid from like the local game store, it's called EB Games here in Australia, but I somehow got a PS2 Dragon Ball game that was in Japanese. I don't know how I bought it. I don't know how it got here in like an official store, and I don't know why I bought it, but I couldn't understand anything, so I couldn't even play the game properly. It's so whack though. I still have it somewhere. I don't remember what it's called though. I'd have to find it someday again. I think it's in some random box. Indeed, the community uniting. I mean, the Pickle fans can cope. The reality is, he got destroyed in that fight, and he's likely not going to do anything in the Bucky world for quite some time. So the fans can cope in regards to the Pickle arc, which occurred in 2006 when it comes to the manga release schedule. And since then, he's just taken L's. So you can cope and, you know, praise Pickle still. He's still not out of the top 10 by any means, but he is in like top 3 threat to Yujiro and Bucky. Only part of the chapter has released so far. Full chapter releases in Japan in 25 minutes. Translations could be released at the same time. We shall see. But the Raws drop in 25 minutes. When it hits 12 AM in Japan, that's when the new Baki and Kengan chapter comes out. When it's a release week. Because I believe the way Baki and Kengan work, they release digitally first. I don't know. I don't think Kengan releases in a physical magazine. I know Baki does, but I think they release digitally first. But for stuff like One Piece, and I guess the ones in Shonen Jump, they release first in the physical magazine. That's why there's the more leak culture stuff with that, or where leaks come out more often because they come out in the magazine before they're released in the stores. So people who work in the business can leak it and stuff like that. But the Kengan chapters digitally first. So it could still leak, and it has. I think Baki does get the occasional like leaked panels. I used to more so a while ago. Because the translators for the English do get it early sometimes. I'm guessing they get access to the leak somehow. But Kengan releases digitally, so there's really never leaks for that. Unless we're talking about last week or a few weeks ago where it came out on the Spanish translation site first. But that was just an error. Or if Daro the artist just leaks something when he streams. Yeah, Jack vs. Pickle was a disappointment. I think Motobe has a possibility to defeat Pickle with his prep time and weapons. Without those two, I would say no. Yeah, there was like some Jack Oro wielding character. I think it's on the new cover page or something as well, or volume cover. I mean, we've been waiting over a month, so the hype to see what happens next is at a high point. I'm hoping he gets dropped some information about the anime. That's what it's for. It's for the Netflix anniversary. There's already confirmation there's going to be Beastar's final season information, so why not provide some Bucky Dow information at the same time? It's the perfect situation to do it. But with that said, just look at One Punch Man. All these conventions promoting the shit out of the anime, but they still haven't dropped the trailer. So they can fumble. I mean, an important thing about Pickle that people tend to forget, even in his arc, when Bucky was facing him at the end and when he was using techniques, Pickle was getting destroyed. And that's a much weaker Bucky compared to the one that faced Yujiro in the later arc. And then when Pickle tried pulling up in the father-son fight, he was humbled real quick. And then he was destroyed by Masashi. Now he was destroyed by Jack. So Pickle hasn't really been him in quite some time. It's like equivalent to saying, I mean, technically, based on how long it's been, oh, it's like comparing him to Enel in One Piece and thinking Enel's like still relevant to the current day villains. Kind of though. The analogy doesn't work the best because very different series, and Pickle still is insanely powerful. Now, hopefully they improve, but I think it's going to be a similar quality. I mean, Enel technically has that insane observation haki. I only read Tenkaichi when fights finish to make my review videos, but I don't read chapter by chapter. So whenever the second last fight ended, where I made my video, was the last one I read. It is funny how Kengan and Baki drop on the same day now. It's not like they come out on the same website or magazine or anything. This happens to be like that. The strongest Kobe you've seen after a manga fight. I mean, of recent memory, the pickle stuff. But maybe the Loki stuff in Record of Ragnarok after what Simo did to him. Personally, I enjoy Record of Ragnarok more, but Tenkochi is still goated. The cope after the Gojo and Sukuna fight. I mean, the amount of resurrection stuff or fears I saw for Gojo at that point, I guess you could say that's the case. And then it kind of happened with the whole Yuta stuff, but yeah. Alright, let us close all this and prepare for the goods. As I said earlier, I'm going to begin with the Kengan chapter because I don't know exactly the second the Baki one will come out. Yeah, I've talked about the crossover chapter where we got the Katsumi and Jack fight. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think the Jujutsu Kaisen anime is much better than the manga, honestly. Top 5 right now? Of all time, Yujiro, Baki, Masashi, Jack, and then you can make some cope argumentation for Yuichiro. You can argue Hanayama. You can argue Pickle. You can argue Oliver. The fifth spot is many potential spots. You can even argue Katsumi, honestly. Issa Kairetsu, if you want to include him. Don't forget to vote on the poll, boys. It should be at the top of the chat, I believe. I'm predicting more setup. I think we can get a few chapters of final setup for some other characters. What happened to Oliver right now? The last time we saw him, he had the rematch with Sukune and knocked him out, and then seemingly left. He is one of the only fighters remaining part of the main cast who hasn't been called out by Jack. But with that said, Kosho initially wasn't called out by Jack, likewise with Hanayama. So if we continue that trend, maybe Oliver is going to be Jack's next fight. But he's pretty much the only strong main fighter in the series who hasn't been called out by Jack or hasn't had a fight set up yet. Every other main fighter has been called out officially. Unless you want to also include the other karate goons, but they're not really that relevant. I'm drawing. Is the chapter out yet? 15 minutes, mate. The final countdown. I mean, technically, the Urenchi side manga has Garuden characters, so could say it's already canon. Yeah, I've seen that new boxing manga where like the protagonist is the promoter or whatever. I've been meaning to check it out. Even that other manga, it's considered a gambling one as well, but it does have fights. I heard. Definitely need to check it out at some point. Why my knee be like aching? Yeah, like in the main series. Yeah. Can Oliver put a good fight on Jack though? Yeah. He was perceived as stronger than Sukune in their rematch. Objectively speaking, Sukune did better against Jack than what Pickle did. And yeah, I think Oliver will be up there. For all we know, Oliver could be the fifth strongest once again in the series. But I do still have the prediction that Doppo is going to be the first one out of the officially called out fighters. Unless they're going to go with Gaia first. But we are 50 chapters into Baki Rahen and, or soon to be 50. And we have a lot of stuff remaining. I was going to play some Balatro, but we ended up yapping for over an hour, so not today, I guess. I think that would be cool if they end up fighting in like the preferred terrain of Jack's opponents. Like Hanayama's main fighting end is like on the street, a brawl, so that makes sense. If they were to do a jungle warfare type fight against Gaia, that would be cool. But I think the next one will probably be in the arena. So against Doppo, I think that would be cool. Doppo vs Retsu, who wins? Retsu, when it comes to the main series, is quite outdated now, so Doppo is indeed much stronger, but if you want to include Isekai Retsu, he destroys. Indeed. Balatro, top tier game. Still haven't been able to beat one on the gold difficulty yet, though. I got like 3 decks up to gold difficulty, but I can't do that one. Will we get to 60 chapters for Rahen by the end of the year? I mean, let's say we get 2 a month. So 2 September, 2 October, 2 November, 2 December. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to 60. Unless he just goes weekly all of a sudden, like crazy. Turbo mode. But I don't think Bucky's been weekly for a month straight since like probably many, many years ago. Before any of us started reading it, probably. Unless you're true Unk status. And have been deep into the Buggy community for like 10 plus years. Maybe even 15 years at this point. What is the hottest post? Sus. There you go. The bodybuilder Oliver is based off. iconic Kato fight with Dorian. What about Kengan? True, we still haven't seen the Extermination Force do something properly. I am begging, just have Kuroki be involved in the Kengan tournament. Or the Battle Royale. I am simply begging. Yeah, I saw some YouTube videos about the PvP mod. I swear they should just add that into the main game. It'll be so like successful. I think that would be the perfect way to end Baki. Just do another maximum tournament. Conclude Baki similar to how they did the first manga series. Like, we haven't had a proper normal tournament since that one. Because the Kaya tournament wasn't really a normal tournament. The Sumo one wasn't as well. Have all these crazy characters come. I think it would be a perfect way to end it. But I do get the sense that Baki is a series that won't really have an ending. Will stop releasing at some point. I get that vibe. When was Yujiro scared of Yuichiro? I've never played it myself, but I've seen like YouTube clips of it. I was gonna set up an emulator to try it on stream, but I never got around to it. Why the beard be looking like that though? I think they would have to do the Baki vs Yujiro rematch for the final. Like, I think if they were to do another tournament, they would have to do it like after the Jack arc. The true GOAT that's going to win the Battle Royale. Bro be experiencing those Royal Rumbles. What does this mean? Hey, we are only 5 minutes away, boys. Surely the Baki chapter comes out at the same time. We can only hope. I think it's possible Jack will win the rematch. He kind of has to be worthy to fight Yujiro in a sense. I feel as though. Kengan and Omega is not going to end anytime soon. There's so much stuff they need to get through. Like, easy another 3 years. Probably even more. I mean, for like 50 chapters a year, I see Kengan and Omega getting to 500 chapters. When does the Kengan chapter come out? I mean, if you see right here, it comes out in a grand total of 3 minutes. And technically speaking, the Baki chapter comes out at the same time. But I don't know if we're going to get translations at the same time. All we know so far, as a reminder to anyone who else has joined, we get a new volume cover. Taniyama, get this as well. And the chapter seemingly begins with some explanation of Hanayama's vice grip ability that he just used on Jack. Probably like 2 or 3 pages at the start. Can Baki and Yujiro solo the Kengan verse? Most likely. You can argue that is the case. 2 long minutes. Indeed, be warned, they'll be going over spoilers instantaneously as I'll read the chapter right away. So if you're scared of spoilers, don't know what you're doing here, that is exactly what we're going to be discussing. If you need links for anything, they'll be posted in the Discord by someone the second it comes out. So just check the description. And we are 1 minute away. Thanks for stopping by, Dio Blitz. Who wins? Pickle just came back. He grew a tail somehow. And like, he whipped Hanayama to the ground and then used the tail to choke slam Jack. Alright. A few more seconds. Come on, mate. I mean, last week, the chapter didn't even work for me right away. It was like, oh, you need to buy some keys. Like, brother, it's meant to be free right away. Refresh. Mate, how's Devin? Bro's finessed the system. Alright. I am reading Kengan Omega, chapter 321. Never mind. Page not found. Don't do this to me, brother. There you go. Aye. Yes, boys. Yes. The first page has blessed me. As I showed it on screen. You know, it's real quick. The first page has blessed me. Never been more hyped. I haven't been this hyped for a Kengan Omega chapter's first page in a long time. The beard is here with the shades. So, Kengan Omega chapter 321, Regrets. Hey, Karo the fisherman as well. Here we are, Kuroki. Looks like an old ocean, doesn't it? But this is what we call the Devil's Sea. We're gonna meet up between the unks, you could say. The Giga unks. The resources on the ocean floor. Okay. What does this matter? Karo, thank you for taking me this far. Now you'd best leave it as quickly as you can. So Kuroki is taking a paddle boat in a random part of the ocean and comes across a big ass cruise ship. And he says, let the duel commence. Mate, what is the beat up to? Is he 1v1ing a cruise ship as he's training? I think this is confirmation that Kuroki is participating in the Battle Royale. I mean, bro's still to go. What can I say? We then cut away to Kyozan, who seems to be training with Cosmo. Nice matchup. Both seem to be insanely sweaty, so they've been going at it for quite some time. My prediction was right about seeing the different characters and what they're up to. Final minute training. Cosmo getting slapped around a bit. We see some other sumo guys. Also, Cosmo has been coming here decently often to train. Teaching Cosmo how to wrestle sumo. Also improving his own. So Cosmo's learning some sumo. Interesting. We see Sorpang and the Goto Galang chilling. And likely they've been sparring with one another. Are the villagers out? They'll be back nightfall. Got it? Nice. Some Sorpang and Galang sparring, as we love to see. Sorpang moving faster than Galang's predictions. So the almighty Sorpang upscale has occurred once again. Man, is that the end of the chapter? I guess it is. Hey, I'm not complaining at all. Short, but got the requirements. Do we have the Baki Rahen chapter? I mean, I'll check in a second. Oh, we do, I believe. Let's go, boys. Baki Rahen, chapter 50. Let me just pull up that to show you what I'm talking about. Chapter 50. Alright. It was in the first year of middle school. I was 13. Yep, so Hanayama's twisting thing. Yep, just this random explanation of it, of course. Alright, back to the fight. Now we're back. So Hanayama and Jack are indeed bleeding out. More glaze of his grip strength, how he can just tear a tyrant apart, no difficulty at all. And then when you apply that kind of power, using the tower technique, the explosion, yep. Ooh, Hanayama follows up with a kick. And lands it this time. Hey, is that a technique, brother? But a clean kick. He kicked him. A Yakuza kick. He really did it. Jack's head's going flying back. Is that another kick? It seems like it landed. Jack's face is going goofy. What an insane kick. That's got to have done him in. It's not a kick of a martial artist. And yet, it's a very rational kick. So Jack's actually vomiting from the kick. Hey, Hanayama's going in now, but bro ain't messing around no more. I guess the bite on his neck forced him to lock in. My boy Jack still getting humiliated. Oh, that punch though. I mean, the hard goes hard. Oh, bro. Jack is getting destroyed. Slammed on the ground, smashed into the ground, and then the fight break it up. Boys, there's no shot. Did our boy Jack just lose? Did our boy Jack just lose? I can't believe it. I mean, they're finally moving in. We are on break next week. So yeah. The fight was technically cut short, so we have cope. But yeah. Hanayama may have just won. That is... yeah. That is yeah. And this chapter literally featured Hanayama beating the shit out of Jack. Landing some monstrous kicks, that insane strike, that's then seeming like a slam as well. I mean, technically the police moved in, but the main dude from the Death Row Inmates arc was like shocked. So maybe they did it too early. I mean, I guess I need to make my video on the Baki chapter now. Kengan chapter, I enjoyed it. Kuroki up to some insanity. Seeing Cosmo and Kyozan train was great, and now Galang and Torpang sparring together, also great. Short chapter though, incredibly short. Both of them. But yeah, I think the Baki one takes precedent. So stay tuned, boys. Stay tuned.